Dire team ban.
And hello and welcome to this
Radiance
cast of
ban.
Season 4 RD2L on All About Dota's channel. I am Legion 170, and if you got to see any of our
Dire's
casts
ban.
during last season postseason, you will recognize us, and you will notice that we have some new eye candy going on with the logo. More to come with that, but we are into the draft between Juggernauts and the unnamed other RD2L team, which we will
10
get to here in a bit.
seconds
But
to go.
as I say
So now we
that,
might not.
let
There
me
he is.
bring in my co-casters. I am
seconds.
joined by Captain Knuckles and Sequoia. Guys, how are we tonight?
Reserve time.
Not too shabby. What's happening?
Doing pretty good.
I'm excited to see some more RD2L action. I was just
Radiant
saying that
team
last season we
ban.
did the playoffs, and those were pretty spectacular, so hopefully we get more of that today. But let's go ahead and start looking into this draft. Some interesting stuff going on in the part of the bans
10
on Juggernauts,
seconds to
with the
go.
Bristleback band coming up first and Dazzle following up with that. So what do you
5
guys kind of make of
seconds.
those? The first band in particular is kind of interesting to me.
I haven't seen
Reserve
Bristleback Band in
time.
quite a while. It might just. It's probably one of those things where that particular team just doesn't like that particular hero. I know we definitely like that.
Yeah, they might just not be comfortable with dealing with a tanky bristle.
He's definitely not in the meta right now. That's for sure. You almost never see him unless it's pretty random strat.
Dire's pick.
Yeah, and I think the Bristleback does have some uses, but on the other side, the unnamed team there with Captain, I don't know if that's the Spanish Yoko or Loco something. I don't know, but their captain banning out some more traditionally in the meta heroes that you see right now. Invoker, who's just an all-around bitch most of the time, and Lycan, who is probably the most hated hero in Dota right now because
10
it hits 20 minutes and that
seconds to
guy
go.
just pushes towers like it's his business.
5
Fucking hate Lycan.
seconds.
Yeah, it's a brutal hero.
So, some traditional bans coming out from the
Reserve
unnamed team.
time.
Jay on the part of Juggernauts. Some odd bans, but he picks up
Radiance
the
pick.
Visage first pick. Strong support. I like it as a first pick. I don't really know if there's much more to say than that. You know, he's a very strong hero, good support, can be aggressive, helpful to push out the lanes. So we'll see what Yoko has to go with that.
Of course, I guess if you're picking a Visage, Bristleback's not a bad one to ban. Because man, those quill sprays are pretty brutal
10
against your
seconds
little
to go.
familiars.
Yeah, and the Dazzle Heal, now that you mention it, destroys
5
those as well,
seconds.
since that affects them also. So, you know, maybe they just knew that Visage was going to be one of their core heroes, so they decided,
Radiance
hey, let's
pick.
get rid of some stuff that will affect him as a hero. So it's a good point. I hadn't really thought of that. Ember Spirit comes out. I have mixed feelings about Ember Spirit. It just depends on where they decide to go with him. I think the more the classic thing to do with him right now is to mid him. Again, mixed feelings about that, but he does match up well with other mid heroes in the current
10
meta.
seconds to go.
I'm a big fan of Ember. I think he's a great mid hero as well.
5
Seen lots of
seconds.
Syrian chain sleight of fist combos, and you really screw up team fights with yanking and things like
Reserve
that.
time.
He is pretty squishy though.
Yeah, and that's my biggest problem with the Ember Spirit is if this Visage gets going early and can get a Soul Assumption, you know, a full charge Soul Assumption off, that's going to take like half of his health in the early game,
Dire's
and
pick.
even into the mid game unless he goes something like early Fate or early Drum, excuse me. The Clockwork picked up next, another, I mean, great initiator. Kind of odd to see him picked second instead of some kind of support, but a good hero overall, good offlaner, good initiator.
One thing I'll say about Ember though is you're kind of seeing in the current meta mid's kind of being left alone, which is
10
kind of odd.
seconds to
Typically, it's the off lane that's just getting pounded right
go.
now.
5 seconds.
It's almost under consistent attack, and even the easy lane's getting a little bit of leeway in the
Reserve
ganking.
time.
So makes Ember a little bit more viable in the mid lane.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that gameplay transitions into, you know, lower tier gameplay like this. You know, I know the professionals focus like that, but do you think, have we seen that really trickle down into, you know, regular pub and even RD2L play where those supports focus more on offlane than the mid, do you think?
Well, I think in pub you don't. It's so variable. It's hard. It's hard to tell in pub. It almost depends on who you're playing with. RD2L is pretty variable too. I mean, we saw Bristlebane first round, so we don't really know exactly probably what we're going to be seeing. But the only thing you can really kind of guess is a lot of pub straps are derived from professional strats. Oh, that's another hero I hate.
Dyer's banned.
And Nature's Prophet, who we have actually, he's kind of been a little bit hit or miss in the professional scene lately. You haven't seen him not nearly as much as you used to see him, but still one of those heroes that can just get under the skin of opposing teams. Lose a team fight with Nature's Prophet on your
10
team, doesn't matter
seconds to
because he's
go.
probably taking your barracks. He just pops here, there,
5
everywhere. Just a general
seconds.
nuisance to deal with. Great combo hero with Visage, I think.
Reserve time.
I don't know personally. I think Clockwork's a great counter to Nature's Prophet. I'm not sure if I would have picked a Nature's Prophet to go against Clockwork unless you're going to go a all-out push strat.
And
Radiant's
Juggernaut's taking their
banned.
time with that ban. They banned out the Crystal Main, really good, strong support that apparently they don't want on their side, and so it's a good idea to kind of ban her out. Pugna,
Dire
the
team
ban from the
banned.
unnamed team here. A great ban, especially if they were thinking about going that push strat that you just mentioned. Pugna can push down towers with the best of them, so...
You think they're both going push? Because, I mean, Crystal Maiden's an excellent anti-push hero.
10 seconds
so is
to
Pug.
go.
I think the Juggernauts is definitely looking to do some kind of
5
push, which is kind of why they got rid of the
seconds.
counter push to the Crystal Maiden. And I think I don't think that
Reserve
the
time.
Radiant team is doing that though. I think that more that Pugna pick was, hey, we just don't want to let them get all these push heroes. It looked with the Ember Spirit,
Radiant
he's going to take
team
some time to
banned.
get really truly rolling. Just get that Battle Fury, maybe a Desolator, and on top of his drum and phase boots to stay alive. So it feels to me that the Radiant team is maybe looking to
10
do team fight
seconds
with
to
the
go.
initiation that they have from the Ember Spirit and the Clockwork, plus the pure damage from the Ember Spirit. But we'll see here with this pick.
Radiant's pick.
Well, and like the AA is another great anti-pusher, so I definitely think Jugs are going to go hard push. So we'll have to see what Radiant picks up here in a sec.
Yeah,
Doom's just annoying. I mean, it's a good counter to Furion. You can Doom him, and he's basically got to run away. So I only got that backwards. Doom's
An Amber.
yeah, never mind. Yeah, I guess he's just pretty effective against Ember because if you can't spam his Sleight of Fist, he's not near
10
effective.
seconds to
I'd like
go.
to see a Luna pick up here. I don't necessarily think that the Radiant team wants to
5
push, but Luna is a
seconds.
good carry in all phases of the game, and I don't think you want to give Juggernauts that ability to win team fights
Reserve
and to
time.
push. The Luna plus the Nature's Prophet plus the Visage is that pushing lineup that we were just talking about. So picking up a Luna here would be a great pickup. It'll fill that lane. It'll leave him with 2 supports to pick, and there it is. So
Good call.
Dyer's pick.
Yeah, because they needed that because they're not going to have an AA to counter that long range global push. They're going to need something to do it. I think you're right. I think Luke's probably the best bet.
And if nothing else, even if Luna didn't fit into their strategy early on, it was a good pick to keep her away from Juggernauts, who's
Yep.
kind of in a pickle here. They could go the Cropulus still, which would be a pretty decent matchup on the Ember Spirit in the mid lane. She'd be able to do some pretty good things,
10
and it would provide that
seconds to
push
go.
power. So that would be a nice pickup here. A Tinker
5
could potentially
seconds.
work, though I don't know if I would do that with the Nature's Prophet also on your team. But if they are looking to
Reserve
push,
time.
those are some good heroes to look for.
I would say Tinker would be a great pick for the Radiant. I mean, it's a great anti-push. It'll definitely give you a little cover. You're going to have to play more of a support role, but you could definitely do it and then run the off. I guess you got Clockwork now. I guess it won't work then.
I mean, if you really wanted to be cheeky and do like an ancient thing, but I don't know that I would want to risk. That'd be pretty
Yeah.
greedy. And the Shadow Shaman
Yeah,
comes out, so
yeah,
another
yeah.
really
Radiant's
great
pick.
pushing hero. A hero that can line up mid if they want to, or can go in the support lane. So Juggernauts has a lot of flexibility with their remaining picks, whereas the Radiant team needs some supports.
You know, I
Rubik
really
would be a
like
good
Shadow
pickup.
Shaman in the mid a lot more than I think I like him in support.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman is one of those heroes that he does good things without items, but if you can get a blink on him and maybe an
10
Aghanims, he can do
seconds to
some
go.
amazing things. And so I
I
tend
really
to like
like
him
him
mid
with
as
some
well.
levels too, and
seconds.
just getting his HP up a little bit so he's not so susceptible to hardcore ganks. I mean, especially when you got a Clock on the other team,
Reserve time.
he is going to be pretty susceptible. Clock's going to be looking for him.
Taking their time with this pick. Although Juggernaut's down to 18 bonus time. I did not even notice that as we were talking. But Radiant dipping down into the 50s.
So I mean, they got to pick up a support here. What do you think? Go a Coddle?
You could do a call. I'd like to see the Rubik here. There are some good spells to steal on the other side. You know, you get the Soul Assumption, you get the birds. You can get a teleport maybe, or the Treants, or the Sprout, or the Ultimate, or the Shadow Shaman has really good spells to steal. So if Rubik would have like a buffet here, and they go Jakiro instead.
Dyer's pick.
I'm not a huge fan of Jakiro.
I'm not either, but they did buff Dual Breath so that it does slow turn radius now. At least I've read that somewhere. I don't know if that's true.
I think that's right. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of he just seems like a slow hero, and I think supports need to be more agile in casting their abilities, and he's just got such a slow turn rate as is.
The Dragonite comes out, so that it is a Shadow Shaman support. Dragonite, another hero that can definitely push things down. So Juggernaut's definitely going for that push strat that we were talking about. They need an offlaner here, probably, unless the Nature's Prophet is going to play that offlane lane. But I would
Shadow
bet
Shaman's
that
actually a very common offlane right now. It's super risky though, because if you fail, it pretty much knocks your strategy.
Very risky. Yeah.
PR did it today, and they did it glorious, but it is insanely risky.
So 25 seconds for this last ban out here. I really think it's going to be a support ban for both teams. And if I was Juggernauts, I would not let that Rubik through. I really think that Rubik would just have an amazing time in this game. The Lone Druid ban, that's odd. Yeah.
Really wouldn't have seen that coming unless they know something
well,
we don't.
I bet they're assuming Shadow Shaman and Visage are your supports, so they're trying to pick another offlane hero. I guess it makes sense, but in the current meta with Shadow Shaman being more of a core than a support, I don't think I would have done that.
5
Yeah, I guess
seconds.
the Juggernauts could definitely pick a carry here. I just didn't think that. I don't know. I'm really curious as to see what they're gonna do here with the Visage Shadow Shaman. You know, Shadow Shaman's so mobile and so versatile.
I think Venom's a great ban though.
Also, good counter push. The Treant Protector. So definitely looks like the Radiant team is.
Wow! I wouldn't have guessed the Krob. They're going core Dragonite.
Farming Dragonite. Well, I have not seen that, and man, I do not even know how long. So interesting pickups here at the end. You know, Death Prophet definitely fits into that push strategy. Juggernauts is definitely looking to go by 20-25 minutes, whereas the Radiant team, with all their survivability and their late game potential, I think could look to stretch it out a little bit longer. They're not really going to have the raw pushing power that Juggernauts has, but we'll see how things match up here as we get into the game.
I will say that Treant Protector is not a great anti-push hero. He can heal the towers, and he's the only one in the game that can. And sometimes, when you beat down the wards, even though you kill the wards fairly quickly, they still cause pretty significant damage to your tower, and Tree can negate that. So that was actually a pretty smart pick. I'm just not a fan of the Jakiro. Otherwise, I like the Radiant picks, I think, slightly better. Especially if they get to the late game.
Well, if Clockwork can land an awesome, maybe like 2-person cog,
I'd get ready.
And then I think Jakiro can shine in that respect. But yeah, I don't know about that pick.
And so as we look here at the Radiant team, we have Magnum 16 playing the Clockwork, Invaders playing the Ember Spirit, Rubik's Cube as the Jakiro, the Bunny as the Luna, and coming up at the end here is the Captain Loco. I'm gonna call him Yoko just because I don't know. That sounds better. So Yoko coming up here at the end with the Treant Protector. They have smoked up and they are moving towards this dire jungle. Meanwhile, we have Koska Carino as the Dragon Knight mid. Game of Throws playing the Crobulus top.
They're going for a core Krob.
Gameth as the Visage coming top. TNT as the Shadow Shaman. And Jay as the Nature's Prophet, who does look to be going in the offlane.
They're gonna catch.
Gameth is gonna walk right into the entire Radiant team, but they're too slow. Nothing that is gonna come of it.
I think they smoked a little too early there.
Yeah, they smoked at the well.
So Pinks come out to kind of stick around, it looks like, but I don't know how smart this is.
Gonna block that camp.
The Sentry goes out to block the camp. Treants are out scouting things out. And they're going to find the rune top, and it's going to get picked up by Rubik's Cube before it can be denied. So I guess the smoke got an illusion rube on Rubik's Cube. That not really worth that 100 gold in my mind, but better than nothing, I suppose. The ward does come out down here, bottom. The free-to-play wards from Jay. And invaders will head towards mid, Rubik's Cube, and the Treant heading towards the bottom lane.
You have been denied.
Not the lanes that you're almost looking like. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, this is definitely not more of a pro scene meta. It's definitely more like, you know, your 7.9 meta, which is kind of, you know, so you're probably right. Things probably aren't quite trickled down yet.
And GameIf has spotted out this this ward with a sentry of his own. He's going to remove that and unblock the camp. Pings come out to show that.
Okay, I hate to interrupt you, but how awesome are these camera wards? They're probably my favorite wards out right now.
Free to play was excellent. I don't know if you haven't seen it already. You should definitely look it up.
Yeah, the camera wards are pretty awesome.
So as we pull up the chart here, we've got
Portal wards.
pretty even game
Light on the
overall.
action so far.
Mind you,
Just a lot of ward countering and a lot of positioning.
I like Jakiro.
Oh no! Oh! Oh!
Oh, the courier almost
wow, that
gets
was close.
almost gets picked off by invaders.
Pull roots and run.
And Koska is going to take a ton of damage from
Have
that.
been denied.
Fox in a bit of trouble. I think he'll be alright though. So what, I mean, they're playing very passive, which I think is a little bit risky if you're the Jugs. I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to last very long. I mean,
No money for
Luna's going to just wipe the floor with them, especially since they have a Krob core. Luna just will destroy her.
Yeah, and especially they're banking so much on that push strat, getting a couple towers, getting some of that early gold on these cores, and balling from there. If they don't get a little bit going, I start to worry, especially as these dire heroes start to kind of climb up the charts. So Yoko is heading top, but he is pinged out and spotted. He's going to throw down a ward and then saunter away. So again, not a ton going on here in this game.
You and I.
Except mid here, we have a little bit of fighting between invaders and Koska. And
The other thing that's interesting is this tri-lane top is Krob's losing a lot of levels because these supports are hanging around. I mean, they need to get her at 6 ASAP. The supports are doing a decent job of ducking in and out of the forest, but there's 2 of them up here, and they're just kind of sitting around not really doing a whole lot. And they got the one camp is... it looks like they took care of the one ward. It may still be blocking that camp, so they're not going to be pulling anytime soon.
yeah, at the same time, she's not that far behind this Clockwork here, who's sitting at maybe 100 experience more. And even the Ember Spirit has only got a level on her, so... I mean, she's not doing great, but she's not doing horribly. And a stun
Yeah, I guess
comes
she's
out
even...
from Koska.
She's actually just slightly behind Luna in CS, too.
Koska's taking a lot of damage, and he's just going to walk away from it. Feel that if Ember Spirit had a little bit more mana there, he could have done more with that. I also feel that not getting the Flame Guard on invaders, at least one level of it, is kind of a mistake. He could do so much damage to this Dragon Knight just getting a simple tether off and
Denied.
making him stand next to that Flame Guard. That, yeah, I get Sleight of Fist is a great ability, but it's not going to help you as much with the farm as the Flame Guard will, and it's not going to provide as much damage either. So I think he might have been able to get a kill
I think
there.
his strategy is though that the Dragon Knight's gonna be spamming the fire, and level 1 Flame Guard's only 50, so it's 50 damage before it depletes. So it's actually pretty easy for Dragon Knight to get rid of that, and so it's probably just gonna be burning excessive mana when he can start spamming his Sleight of Fist and his chains instead. That's
And
actually...
GameIf in a little bit of trouble here. He gets cogged up by Magnum. And he's going to take a lot of damage from this battery assault. Sheep does come out, and now the shackle,
nice
and he will
shackle.
get away. Oh, and GameIf, what a turnaround there by Juggernauts. Garnef was in a lot of trouble there, but TNT comes in. Game of Thrones gets almost a max range wave, and then Jay teleports in, but probably for little nothing because he was dead by then. And here we go, guys. Here is how we know that the Radiant team is looking to take it late. The bunny is picking up Midas.
Yep. Which is all Midas is. Is it weird? I mean, is it just me that it's interesting that Midases are getting picked up even late team games as well? You're seeing Midases go up to 20 minutes now, which I think is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think that you have to know how long the game is going or how long you want the game to last. And with these pro games going so short now, you know, these pro teams, they're like, hey, you know, the Midas isn't worth it because if we're going to win at 25 minutes, then it's not going to pay for itself. But if you get to 20 minutes and it's kind of a slow game, you can kind of realize, hey, you know, this is going to be kind of slow. It's going to be a farming thing. You pick up that Midas, and then it'll eventually pay for itself.
We got a gank coming down mid. They're coming for invaders.
And invaders in a bit of trouble here as smoked up TNT will stun him. The stun comes out from the Dragon Knight, Flame Breath, and cleaned up by Garnif. Oh, except Shadow Shaman got the kill. Interesting. The Soul Assumption, I swear, was going to do that, but apparently the Shackle got a little bit extra damage on him at the end there.
Radiant's middle tower is under
cleans up
siege.
invaders, so a good movement there by Juggernauts. They needed that. I think, like we said, I think they're relying on snowballing, get some early towers, get some early kills, and move on from there. And Invaders had actually had a pretty decent time of it there, even though he is a little bit behind some of the other heroes on the CS chart.
Luna just picked up her minus 6 minute.
Yeah, she's 34 and
Pretty good
35 and
timing.
7. I mean, that's
Pretty good timing.
And Nature's Prophet looking to pick up the mechanism, it looks like. He's got a headdress on him, so that, at least that's what I would assume he would pick up. As Dragon Knight bottles up an invis, so I'll have to keep an eye on him and see if he decides to use that in Dragon form here. Oh, which just ends, so never mind.
Yeah, Juggernaut definitely needs to keep up the ganks, though, if they want to even have a shot at this. Supports picked up some smoke, and they're coming, looks like they're heading top.
For all her CS, Game of Throws really does not have much. Phase boots, and that's it. You know, 40 and 11. A little surprising to me.
They were just caught out by the wards, so if they want to gank, they're not going to be... You're going to see Magnum pretty passive now.
Do it with
He
flair.
fires a rocket just to make sure.
How's he doing? He's level 6, so he's ready to hook. I can't imagine you won't see some supports coming gank here soon, especially when they get closer to the tower. Oh, Nature's Prophet might go on this courier. Oh.
That's the Dire
Wrong
Courier.
team. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I was really
I
confused
have
there.
like no hours.
And Jay does
no,
getting harassed pretty well. TP support does come in. The bunny turns around to fight a little bit, gets slowed up, throws out his Midas, and then gets shackled. So a little bit of a mistake there from the bunny, but yeah,
Radiant's top
he is gonna
tower
fall
is
for
under
it.
siege.
The Shadow Shaman dies, and as does the Visage. But still, a little bit of a misplay there. Jay gone in on by invaders, and Jay's gonna die as well. So actually, a good trade there for Luna. I did not think it was going to be with him stopping to use that Midas and getting shackled up like that. I thought that was going to end pretty poorly for the Radiant team. And top lane, we miss a kill on
Radiant's top
Clockwork,
tower
who
is
dies
being
to
attacked.
the Crabulous ult and the
Dire's
stun,
bottom
I'm
tower
assuming,
is
from
being attacked.
Dragon Knight.
Wow,
Dire's
so
bottom
I'm
tower
surprised they
has
traded
fallen.
towers there. That was a
Radiant's top tower
interesting
is
turn
being
of events.
attacked.
Wow, they're not even gonna get that tower. Oh,
The hook shot from it,
Radiant's
and
top tower is under attack.
Koska is
Dire's
tanking this
bottom
up pretty well, but he
tower
is
is
going to
under
die.
attack.
Magnum probably going to die though
I
for
imagine
it.
as a convict.
Game of Thrones chasing after, does not have the mana for wave, but does kill him with the auto attack.
Dire's
Meanwhile,
bottom
bottom,
tower is
the
under
Radiant
siege.
team is still pushing down on this lane, and they've got this tower to half health.
Wow, they are just
Oh,
out
no.
pushing the
And-
pushing team.
Garnif
Dire's
gets
bottom
taken
tower
out for
is
his
under
trouble there.
siege.
TNT throws out a little bit of lightning, and Jay comes in with the treants, but nothing doing there, and they're just going to back off.
That was a giant misplay by Garnif. He he threw out a Grave Chill and then a Soul Assumption that had 0 charges on it, and yeah, paid for it. I don't know what he was thinking with that.
Maybe he was just thinking that he could scare him away with his presence, but with just the
Radiant's
Visage
top
standing
tower
there
is
and 3
under
other heroes, I
siege.
don't know why he would think that. Game of Thrones really low, has to teleport home. Luna picks up some treads. Where is she? There she is. So she's doing pretty well here. 10 minutes, treads Midas. Jakiro has his arcane boots, so I mean, even he's doing pretty good. Even the supports on this Radiant
Radiant's middle
team
tower is
are
under
sitting
attack.
pretty well with levels. As we pull this up here, we can see that the Treant's a little low at level 5, but honestly, I don't know that matters that much. His ult is more for the team fights, and right now they're not really having a whole lot of team fights. They're just kind of pushing.
He is doing a good job on keeping these towers up healed. He got one out of deniable range, which may or may not have been a misplay. But middle tower is doing a good job on keeping it up.
Rubik's Cube in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, the Soul Assumption throws out, and it looked like it was going to follow him with the TP, but I don't think that actually does. It should disjoint.
Block really wants to go on Fury.
Yeah, he's hiding out here. He wants to go on somebody, and Furia and Jay knows it. He knows that Clockwork is not on the map. Pings come out for the mid from the captain Yoko. He wants to go in on there. Keep this push rolling. 5-5 game right now at 11 minutes. So, you know, it started out really slow, but we actually have gotten some pretty decent action in the last couple minutes here, and looks like we're gonna get a little bit more. No, Dragon Knight thought he was gonna go in there, but decides at the last second to turn away.
Push bottom and a push mid. They're gonna try to trade towers.
Yep, and Jay's going to teleport to the bottom lane and add his push power to this, and the ultimate from the Crybulus. So this is definitely going to be a dead tower. No TPs coming in from the Radiant team, and then they've backed up from mid. Ping comes out from blue, and now Clockwork is teleporting in, and he's going to have a hook shot, but decides not to use it. Scared of that Crybulus ult.
Yeah, he had a lot of images in his way, and the familiars were on him.
But that ult's almost up, and they can just wait on it, and he's going to be ready.
He's still trying to initiate here.
He's looking for the hook shot. There's a lot of targets.
There's his line.
What is he going to do? He's not going to go in.
His team didn't follow him. His team backed off. He couldn't go in.
And now Dire team is going to re-engage. The Dragon Knight comes down into the forest, and if they go, they have a cutoff here on Magnum, but they go the wrong way. They go up.
Oh no. Bunny may be in some trouble here in a second.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
Bunny going for drums, it looks like.
Dire's
Bracer
middle
already
tower
up,
is
Robe of the
under
Magi
attack.
on her.
This is the hardest part
He's
of being
coming
an
out from
impartial
both teams.
announcer.
Radiant wants to check on
Dire's
Roche.
middle tower
Dire
is
team
under
wanted to go for
siege.
Bunny, and they almost caught him.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
Instead, the Radiant team is going to push mid, and this tower, without
Dire's
some
middle tower
incredible
is
support
being
here, is
attacked.
going to fall. Familiars come out to try to deny, but no, it
Dire's
is
middle tower
destroyed.
has been
The
destroyed.
Familiars do drop down, and Pings come out. They see TNT over here. They want to go for him. Ult comes out from Bunny. Is going to hit
Radiant's
nothing.
top
Absolutely
tower is
nothing.
under
Oh, I cannot believe. Oh, and then the Cogs do not catch up the Dragon Knight, and they just bounce him into the Roshan pit. He stuns up Bunny, but he is going to die here. It's just a matter of who gets the kill. And Bunny does. Invader's in a little bit of trouble. Jay's chasing him. Ice Path comes out, does freeze Jay and the creeps. Ember Spirit jumps around in there, and not a whole. Oh, and a loose a beam comes out from the Bunny to drop Nature's Prophet. So sticking around a little bit too long, even with those heroes at low health, and the Serpent Wards are sitting up here. I don't know what they
Really felt Jugs had some bad communication on that one. It didn't really seem like anyone really knew what they were doing. And they all had the potential of turning that, but I don't think anyone really had a clear idea what anyone else was doing, and they kind of just ran around.
I think you could probably expect that from these, these preseason RD2L scrims. A bunch of strangers that have never played together in a lot of cases, who are trying to get a feel for each other, and with the different levels of play and stuff like that. I think some of these hiccups could be probably expected.
Radiant did a great job, though. They definitely had a clear message on what they were doing. Did a good flank down there.
So the mechanism is up on the Crybulus, and drums up on the Dragon Knight. Meanwhile, Ember Spirit definitely going for that Battle Fury. Perseverance is up. Pings come out to push this mid tower, and nobody from Radiant is anywhere close to it. It's going to die easily. And they can actually push mid. They can continue this push if they really wanted to. There's 5 of them here, and no Radiant to be found. There's 3 Radiant top. There's 1 bottom, but they're instead going to choose to TP towards that top lane and start. Oh, nope, he canceled his TP. They must have realized, just like we did, that there's 3 people up there, and trading a tier 2 for a tier 1 is definitely in the favor of Juggernauts.
They're gonna come defend us.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
TPs do come in now, but the Shadow Shaman ult is down. Bunny's going to try and kill these wards, but not going to be able to do it before the tower. Way too late of a response there from the Radiant team in order to prevent that. Pretty bad misplay there. They had a chance to really control this game after that last team fight, and instead they give up more map ground to Juggernauts, who take that tower.
They did get a little ward gold out of that, but definitely not worth the tower loss.
As we look at the CS, Crobulus and Dragon Knight creeping up here on this Midas Luna. Magnum looking for somebody, but nope, he's going to TP out. Not going to find anybody up there. Vader's taking some pretty good harassment.
We're doing from, looks like they're moving out now. Dragon Knight picked up a DD room.
And Roshan looks to be the name of the game. JTP's in. They did pick up, and it's spotted out. There's a cliff ward right here. So obviously seen. Are they going to get here in time, though? Clockwork has a line for a hook shot. Does he want to go in? Now the line is broken by the Treants because they saw him coming. And he does hook in, gets 3 into the cogs. He's shackled into it, and then a Soul Assumption. Ember Spirit jumps in, does clean up Jay, even though the Clockwork falls. Bunny with the ultimate and Yoko with the ultimate, but the ultimate does not do much damage with the mech going off. Not a whole lot happening, but then the Shadow Shaman falls. Dragon Knight is going to take out Bunny. No, he's not going to. Bunny puts out the Lucid Beam and does clean up the Dragon Knight. In the meantime, the other people, Visage and now Crowdulus are cleaned up by the rest of the Radiant. So a little bit of a misplay with that tier 2 tower not getting destroyed, but then they come and do that and just completely wipe the team, the Juggernauts, trying to get the Roshan. So good recovery, I guess. I don't really know what to say. This game has been so kind of back and forth in who I felt had control of it, and Jay's gonna TP into the Roshan pit again? No, he started to and stopped. I thought maybe
he was trying to see if they were there or not, but the player was there to help them scout it out.
Pings do come out from Jay to look at that bottom as the Clockwork rocket comes, and it wants to spy out Roshan too.
I felt the Roshan play was an interesting call. A lot of the ultimates were still on cooldown, and they weren't used in that team fight. And that's kind of where Juggernaut's going to pull most of their weight, is when the ultimates are online. They burned all the ultimates when they took out that tier 2, and they weren't online when they roshed. They want to fight now, though. They're looking for someone. There they are.
And the Cyclone comes up on Yoko. Trees come out on Rubik's. Soul Assumption out on Rubik's as well. He's going to try a nice path, but no, he's not going to get it off. Yoko's in a little bit of trouble here. He's shackled up and taking a lot of damage. Pinks come out for the Radiant team to kind of get out, but then Invaders goes in and shackles Keep Throws next to the creep camp, where he actually took quite a bit of damage from those level 1 creeps. A hookshot comes in on Dragon Knight, but he was looking for Crobulus, and now he is dead. Invaders does clean up the Crobulus, but he is in a lot of trouble as well, because he does not have the mana to ult away or do much of anything. He throws up the Flame Guard and runs for his lifetime, but if there's any kind of stun, and there it is. The Dragon Tail stuns right before he's going to be TP out. He jumps between them and is going to die. So just, like I said earlier, just when we think that a team has an edge in this game, they go and do something like that, where they just throw the lives of 4 heroes away for a Crobulus, and if you're Juggernauts, you are ecstatic at that trade.
Yeah, that was a nice block on Dragon Knight on that Clockwork hook shot. It saved Crobulus for a little bit longer and kept her alive, and Ember kind of had to dive to get her.
Jay in a little bit of trouble, and he's going to get cleaned up. I don't know why he deciding to stop there and TP. Probably not the best of decisions, especially with phase boots up. He could have gotten quite a bit further away there and tried to sprout himself and given himself some cover to do that, but instead elects to stop and try to get out, and not even close.
There are wards all over the Radiant.
So Nature's Prophet did finish Necro 1, though.
as this game does kind of go back and forth. Look at the XP graph here with the Radiant team actually with a 7,500 experience lead. Not a huge surprise for me based because of the kills. And here Game of Thrones is getting gone on by Magnum. Cyclones him, and then Magnum just kind of turns and runs away. But with the way the team fights have been going, not a huge surprise that the XP is in favor of the Radiant team. Whereas look at that gold graph. Oh my goodness, that that is the perfect
Jeez.
image for this game. Yeah, almost dead even, but look at the ups and downs on that thing. That is
It's a lifeline.
that is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Pink's come out here on the mid for Yoko. He's
Dire's
gonna
bottom
get leech
tower is
seeded,
under
but
attack.
he's so fast with that Yule's Scepter and Phase Boots. There's no way they're gonna be able to do anything. He cyclones Yoko.
Dire's
Shadow
bottom
Shaman's
tower
coming.
is being-
Silenced
Dire's
up.
bottom tower has been
Shadow Shaman's just a little too slow. No Force Staff, no Blink. It does look like he's getting that Force Staff, but just not quite enough gold for it yet. And so Yoko's able to kind of casually walk away. Blink Dagger does come out on the Treant, though, so a little bit more initiation for this Radiant team.
The Bunny's finished his BKB as well. The next team
Dire's
fight could
bottom
go
tower is being
very
attacked.
poorly for Juggernaut.
Invaders has the gold for Battle Fury as well. He's got 2,600 sitting on him. All he has to do is buy it.
There he goes. There he goes.
2,300 gold sitting on this Dragonite, who is curiously sitting up here by the secret shop. I don't really know what he's doing.
Doing a little secret mission.
Hiding in the forest. Maybe they're gonna try to get this tower here on the top lane.
Dire's
Pings
middle
come out, they
tower
do
is
see
under
him,
siege.
but with the Nature's Prophet and the Treants there, they're probably gonna be able to trade this if they want to. And it does look like they want to. 5 mid for the Radiant, and they don't have any creep support though, so they're gonna be a little bit behind here.
Radiant's top tower
Living Armor
is
comes
under
up on
attack.
the tower,
Oh!
goes down pretty quickly, and initiated on TNT. Magnum cleans up TNT, who does throw down the wards. Game of Thrones in a lot of trouble now as well, and he's cleaned up by the Bunny after Invaders jumped in on him.
Radiant has
So
fortified its structures.
trading towers is one thing, but
Dire's
trading
middle
towers
tower
with 2
is
hero
being
kills,
attacked.
including one of your core heroes,
Radiant's top
not a
tower
good
is
trade
being
for
attacked.
Juggernauts.
Radiant's top tower has
Even
fallen.
though they did get that tier 2, and they're going to look to
Dire's
push
middle
farther
tower is-
in,
Dire's
but
middle
so is
tower
the
has
Radiant, I would
fallen.
imagine. Nope,
Radiant's
Radiant
top
is going to
tower
teleport
is under
backwards.
siege.
And so, Dragonite is scared away here.
They're looking for the Furion too. They don't know where he is. They had to use wards on that engagement as well. They used wards to try to defend it.
So back and forth, back and forth. Luna with 1,500 gold sitting on her now. Clockwork with 1,600. So he's going to be able to start working into his Battle Fury, or not Battle Fury, his his Blade Mail. That's the item I'm looking for. His Blade Mail here pretty soon. If that's what he's just going to go. He does have a Bracer, so he might look to go Drum, but they already have one on Luna. Though it is almost out of charges.
Looks like they're gonna try to get some ancients on Dire.
Ping comes out, they see these guys killing the Ancients. Ping's all over the place.
Clockwork sees Scrob.
And he's got her. He hook shots, progs. Not enough mana to throw a Battle Ray Assault though. He gets the tree armor, and he's in a bit of trouble here with the Visage Creep chasing him. He's cycloned up. More help coming for Game of Thrones.
Ah,
And Magnum's running, and he's got cogs, but no TP. Where is he going to go? He's going to head towards the Secret Shop. Living Armor comes up again. He's sprouted by
Dire's
Jay, though,
tower is
and
under
the
attack.
creeps come out from the Necro Book, and he is cleaned up. So I'm not sure if he didn't know where his team was or what, but Dragonite
Tree
stuns
found
up
into
on
a
Yoko,
Dragonite.
who is in a little bit of trouble. Throws the armor on himself, gets Flame Breath, runs away with half health. Not really a whole lot going on there. Meanwhile, there are 3 Radiant heroes at the top lane
Radiant's
pushing that
bottom
tower
tower
down.
is
I think they're
and
gonna tower
5
trade
going
again.
bottom.
Dire's top
They're going to
tower
tower
is
trade, but with
under
that
attack.
Crobulus ult up here, they could look to go tier 3 if they wanted to.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
Radiant team,
Dire's
Radiant team
top
has decent
tower
push, but
has
the
been
Ember Spirit is going to
destroyed.
teleport back. So
They're
is
gonna
the Bunny
defend.
now. They elect to defend here, just trading towers. So now we have no remaining tier 1 or 2
Dire's top
towers on the
tower
map.
is being
When the Dire team
Radiant's
pinging that
bottom
Roshan,
tower is
now that
being
they have
attacked.
the lanes pushed out,
It'll
especially
probably be
the mid and
fine.
bottom lanes, they can afford to go in there with that extra scouting provided by the creep waves. But they threw a ward down here, but it not a sentry, so
Oh,
they
they
don't know that they know. Smoked up now is the Radiant team. and they're heading into this. Images do not grade. Oh, what? Oh, no! Invaders thinks that it's the real one and attacks, gives up the smoke for an illusion. Oh.
That could have been game right there.
I don't even know what to say. You have to feel for these guys a little bit. And now they're going to try to Roshan? Yeah, they are going to try to Roshan. The Dire team has backed up, but the Visage Birds are going to spot this out. So Dire is going to be able to respond.
They do have the vision up there.
And Yoko goes in on Game of Thrones, throws out his ultimate. Yule Scepter up. TNT throws down the wards, but dies quickly. Yoko's in a lot of trouble himself. Luna ult comes out and cleans up the Crobulus, but the Bunny's in a lot of trouble. Even BK beat up. Dragon Knight is sitting here. And,
Oh, he's not gonna get her.
oh no, the Bunny is...
5
What is...
health.
Oh, the Bunny is almost... She's gonna die. There's
Oh,
no
she-
TP,
yeah.
nothing. She's cornered up. And
no,
at the same
no!
time... He walked by her. He didn't see. I moved over to
there's-
see the Jakiro, and he did not see her.
Because there's an area you can go back there, and he only went just before that area. Wow.
So,
Yep,
Courier's
there's a
dropping
there's
off
a
the TP.
good
Well, that's
play by the
unfortunate.
Bunny. I mean, I thought he was running himself into a corner to die there, but he survives. His team, however, not so lucky, and the Roshan is going to go to Juggernauts. So let's take a look at that up and down gold graph again, and now we see the Radiant taking a pretty sizable advantage, actually, until that last team fight where it dipped down a little bit.
By the Dire.
So, like we said, I think that if they don't attack that image down here, I think that could have been a game fight. You know, that could have been the GG.
Because that would
call
have been
right there.
Roshan, and likely they would have gone up top hill with that.
Yeah. So a bit of an unfortunate play there.
A little trigger happy.
Dragon Knight with 2,300 gold, so he's sitting pretty good with the farm. Crobulus not having a lot, but the Aghanim Scepter up on the Visage now. So 3 birds flying around. That's going to be a lot of trouble for that Radiant team.
As we say, the Darth Vader and his TIE fighters.
And so somehow, Jay on the Nature's Prophet came into possession of the Bunny's town portal scroll.
So did she drop that off so she could pick up Aegis? Is that what is that what they were thinking to do on that?
That must have been. It must have been what it was. Yeah. And she just didn't pick it up as she left. I did not see it though.
I did not see it either.
So the Hood of Defiance comes up on Crobulus. Kind of an interesting pick. I thought Crobulus was going to be a core hero here, but instead she's picking up all the support items, and Jakiro comes up with the Rod of Atos. So,
The
kind
Rod of Aoi.
interesting pickup on the other side here. I mean, I guess I get it, the slow, but on the Jakiro? I don't know. With no mechanism on the team, it seems like an odd pickup to me. I think there are
Double damage.
other support items that you could have picked up there that would have provided more for the money than the Rod of Atos.
One thing the Rod does do is give him incredible.
And Game of
durability.
Thrones gets
Please
shackled up,
afraid,
but
let them be.
and follow with the Ice Path and Lunar Beam. Lucent Beam, whatever that's called. Yeah, Lucent.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go on her. Good play by them. They would have probably died there.
Yeah, I think they had an inkling that there were more of them there. And Dire looking to push a little bit. They ping out Magnum in the forest as he's spotted by the treants, and Jay looking to TP in. No, he stops his TP and instead pings towards the Radiant Ancients. Magnum's going to get out with his life as Jay goes up and throws a ward right next to the one that was already placed there by the Radiant. So kind of unfortunate for him that they're going to know exactly where that is.
Yep, and observers are being brought up right now to get rid of it.
Flares here.
Well, game has slowed down a bit.
Yeah.
Which,
Was,
if
they
you're
only have
Juggernauts
3
with that
minutes.
Ancient,
They only have 3 minutes left on that Aegis. They need to do something.
I just think that their team composition makes it so they just need to do something, even if they didn't have that. Like, but having it is just all the more incentive to get out and do something. But instead, they elect to kind of move back and farm. Garnet is farming the forest here.
Ooh, that was close.
Magnum
JoN Scott hook shot.
almost in the range, but kind of blocked off by the creeps there.
Good rocket though.
And the triple stack here gonna go down to the Dragon Knight, so he's already got 3,000 gold sitting on him and an Aegis, so he's gonna be able to pick up his next item here real shortly. Be interesting to see what he goes with so much gold saved up. Oh, and he's hooked in. Magnum jumps in, throws the hook and the cogs. Dragon Knight's force staffed out, pops his invisibility rune. TNT throws up the shackles. Throws down the chicken now. Jay sprouts the ramp, blocking his own teammate off and letting Rubik's Cube force stabs in. Jay runs away from the ult. The Aegis is popped on the Dragon Knight. And they're looking for more. Yoko blinks in, but is silenced before he can ultimate. The Luna ult does go out, but BKB up on the Dragon Knight prevents that from doing anything. Invader's got trapped off there. I moved to follow the rest of the team, and he kind of ran the opposite way and got killed. Magnum then gets picked off in his own cogs. Yoko's trapped and in a lot of trouble, gets Yule Sceptered up. Ice Path catches 4 heroes from the Dire, but Yoko is definitely not going anywhere. Shackled up and killed by the Death Prophet wave. And the Radiant team, who had a sizable advantage in almost everything, now looking in a lot of trouble as the Dire team is going to definitely look to go uphill now.
The Crobalt is down though.
Wards are down
Necro
too.
3 is down for 30.
They had to burn a lot in that team fight. I don't think
They
they can
did.
take uphill yet. That Jakiro should be able to zone them out pretty well.
They're going to definitely try it, though. Even if they can't, they're going to try. They got 10 seconds till the Clockwork and the Ember Spirit are up. Luna is still healing up in the fountain. Pinks come out to go on a game of throws, but this tower's taking a ton of damage from these Vision Familiars and the Nature's Prophet creeps. And the Familiars will back off, so about 700 gold or 700 damage done to that tower, but Treant throws out the living armor, and he's going to be able to heal that up in no time. Meanwhile, hookshot comes in on the Dragon Knight, misses the Dragon Knight, but definitely hits a creep. He BKBs and decides to TP out straight away, so wastes a BKB charge there, so that's a victory definitely, I think, for
They
the...
just picked off Nate in the jungle trying to TP out.
And I did not even realize he was down there, so I completely whiffed that kill. My apologies. As there is a ward sitting here, so he should have even seen him coming. I don't...
Luna just picked up her Manta too.
And Ember Spirit's got Demon Edge, so interesting to see what he's going to go there. I would assume he's just going to go MKB, but I guess if Radiant's feeling desperate, he could go for the almighty Rapier. He's got 1,800 gold till he could afford it. And now they look to go uphill a little bit, or at least put some pressure on this mid. Meanwhile, Dire is kind of hanging out in their jungle here, right above. Pinks do come out. Magnum sees Dragon Knight.
Dire's
Gonna
middle
go in on
tower
him.
is
He
under
wants
attack.
to, but his team is nowhere to be
Dire's
found.
structures
Magnum
have
is
been
running around.
fortified.
That Courier's got a Vlad's on it too.
Oh yeah, full finished.
So the opportunity to kill that courier just missed out on. And JTP's top, he sees that they're out of position, but now immediately 2 teleports head to that top lane. And the rest of the team looking for Magnum looking for a cutoff. He wants that Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet instead just gonna use a teleport scroll and get out. So two of the 3 lanes for the Dire are pushed out considerably. Even as Luna sits atop the net worth chart, I have to feel that the Radiant team is kind of falling behind. And as we look at the gold graph, it's sticking about 3,000 in favor of the Radiant team. But look at that experience difference, up to 10,000 only 9 minutes ago, and now it's down to about 4. So
It's kind of weird no one wants this double damage. It's been sitting there for a couple minutes.
Homing in.
Yeah, the one thing that the Radiant has going for them though is that late game. I mean, they get into a big team fight as long as they watch their base from Furion coming in and ratting them. I think they're going to be in good shape. They just have to... Furion's doing a really good job of pushing those lanes out and making sure they can't do a massive push without being punished. That's why we love the Furion so much.
Dragon Knight only about 200 gold away from his Assault Cura, so maybe that's what they're sitting back trying to farm up, while the Vladimirs goes on to the Visage. So A support item picked up by a support.
Roche is coming up soon.
Looks like Sheep Stick coming up on Nature's sometime. Maybe. He doesn't have much gold, I guess. He did finish Necro 3, and he's got that point booster sitting on him. Game of Throws, 1,600 gold. She's got the pipe finished up. I don't know if she's going to go Bloodstone, Heart. She's got that Vitality booster she's had for a long time.
Oh,
Things come out, and the
trouble.
J is shackled up. He throws out the Necro 3 creeps, but Invaders is going to kill him before he can TP out, and that's the power of that Flame Guard right there. Invaders throws out the Sleight of Fist, and Roshan is up. They could go for this if they wanted to, but instead they're going to chase Game of Throws, who's going to lead him away from the pit.
I believe they rocketed Roche. The timeout on the rocket was just when Roshan came up. Okay, now they see.
Yep, they see. Invaders definitely spies that out. The Visage Birds come up, they throw a stun here, and those Visage Birds are in a lot of trouble. Yeah, pings out, come out from the bunny to attack these, but nope, they're just going to pass them by. That's 300 gold there. That just flies away free and easy, so I don't know.
Dyer's middle
They
tower
Oh,
wanna-
and
they wanna end
Dragon
it.
Knight spied out. Cogs do
middle
not
tower
hit him,
has fallen.
bounce him away. Meanwhile, uphill, the tower does fall. Wards come out, and the power of Luna right here. Just like that, one Rax is down. The melee Rax falling very quickly. Throws the BKB comes out. The ultimate comes out. The bunny dies. Tried to focus on that Rax, but the team just disappeared on him. Pipe comes out. Double kill comes out for Garnif, and Yoko's in a lot of trouble. And he will fall also to Garnif. Triple kill on the Visage. As the lanes top and bottom are both pushing for the Dire. Dire have 3 heroes down, or 3 heroes on the Radiant side are down, including 2 of their core heroes, and quite most definitely their most powerful one with the Luna. So they're going to look to go uphill. Buyback does come from the Treant Protector. The Luna does have a
Luna's
buyback as well.
ready too.
So
They may try to bait this out. Oh man, that Sleight of Fist did some damage on Prob. Looks like Ember picked up a Daedalus.
They're gonna elect to go into Roche.
I think that's definitely the safe, smart move. I mean, there's no need to throw yourself. They're probably assuming Luna has a buyback.
I'm trapped.
it may have been the safe choice, but at this point in time, I don't know if the safe choice is necessarily the best choice with the way this is starting to snowball for Juggernauts, which is exactly what Juggernauts lineup is meant to do, is to kind of snowball things
Immortality.
in their favor. I think that you might as well take a chance with the pushing power of the bunny with that rapier bouncing around on Ember Spirit. And there's that 200 gold that or 300 gold that I was talking about as the Visage Birds do fall, and they're down for 50 seconds. So good opportunity for the Radiant here.
I don't know if they realized that Garnif resummoned his familiars in that base fight.
And it does look to be a Heart coming up on the Death Prophet, as she has a Reaver purchased and on her now. Ping's coming out from its Ancient Camp, and the Treant sitting with 2,400 gold. I don't know what he's saving for. Potentially a Mystic Staff or a Shiva's or something of that nature. I'm not 100% certain, but he's got to be saving for something expensive. 4,400 gold up sitting on the Luna. She could start thinking about that butterfly if she really wanted to right now. And she does pick up something. What was it?
I think the Shivas on the Treant Protector would be a good choice.
And she did pick up an Eagle Song, so she is going for that butterfly here. Smoke
Dire
comes
just
out on the
smoked
Dire. And they're going to go look for the forest. The Visage Birds are spotted out by the Radiant team.
Rock it on.
Rocket tries to scout the Ancients, finds nobody there. Jay teleports towards the bottom lane. And they're still looking for blood. Game of Thrones getting a little bit far out there. Smoke will be revealed, and TNT blinks in on Magnum.
No.
Chicken comes out before he can throw the cogs and Soul Assumption. No, the Flyer Breath will kill Magnum 16.
Magnum was hellbent on going on Nature's Prophet. I feel, yeah, he force-staffed himself in to get closer. I think he had blood in his mouth. He wanted that kill. Not a good move, though.
And the Shiva's Guard comes out on the Visage now, so Visage sitting at 8-3 and 8, ton of gold, grabs an Agnim's and then grabs the Shiva's Guard. So more armor, more team fights potential for the Dire team. And Ice Path comes out, does freeze a couple heroes. Yoko throws his ult out as well, so they're sitting around the Fire Path. Unfortunate placement there of those. The Shadow Shaman wards come out. Dragon Knight's just kind of trucking around in here, though. He's not really caring, but he's going to pop the Aegis.
His team kind of left him there. Furion beamed out. Oh, he's back now.
And that Dragon Form does come up now after the Aegis is popped. I think that's what he was just waiting for. I think he wanted to get rid of that now. BKB's popped up, stuns on Bunny. Bunny is, though, living armored. Magnum comes up and hook shots in on that Nature's Prophet. He really wants Nature's Prophet to die, and he is going to die, as is the Shadow Shaman and the Dragon Knight and the Visage, as Invaders just turns this around and shows his dominance, throws out the shackles. Searing Chains up on him, and Game of Throws with the Ice Path here, he's dead as well. So, full team wipe, maybe not. Wow.
Oh, Game of Throws is running.
Leech seeded. He's still so much faster than a lot of these here. And then there goes the Sleight of Fist to finish him off. So, Invaders pinging down to the bottom to push this bottom lane out. Jay did buy back and TP into the top lane to stop the push there. And Radiant is going to look to redirect their efforts towards the bottom lane. So, good fight there from the Radiant team. You know, I know that they do have that superior gold advantage, but up to this point, it really felt like Juggernauts was kind of taking control of this game. And now, a good opportunity for the Radiant to kind of push without having to worry about Crobulus or her support items, or her ultimate, which is going to be up in 15 seconds.
What is Shadow Shaman doing down there? He's gonna get caught.
It looks like he was pulling. He was trying to stack that Ancients, and it's going to be spotted out by Yoko, so no pull for him. Sleight of Fist comes out from the Ember as the Treants do come out. Luna pops her images, and they're going to back off. They're not going to take their chances here. They're just going to walk back a little bit and try to keep a hold of the advantage that they have managed to build for themselves.
Ember just picked up a BKB too, so I think they have what they need.
And 2,500 gold on him as well, so you can start looking for another damage item. You know, if you wanted to go the multiple Battle Fury route, which I don't care for particularly, you could start to think about that. You could start to think about a Desolator. Kinds of things that you can start to think about with 2,500 gold sitting on him. Cyclone comes up on Invaders, and now he's shackled up by TNT. Invaders just turns around and kills the Shadow Shaman, but he will fall for his troubles. He's down for 82 seconds. Bunny throws out her ultimate, but the BKBs do pop from the Dire team, and Bunny pops as well, also out for 80 seconds. Yoko getting pinged out, and he's going to fall as well, as does the Jakiro. So just when you think that maybe the Radiant has a little bit of an advantage, Dire flexes their muscles a little bit.
This is crazy. I feel like Radiant has such a huge advantage, but lots of misplays.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you do, as you do look at the net worth chart, that even though Luna and Luna's 5,000 gold ahead of the pack, you know, look at those Dire stack. There's 4 Dire heroes there right after the top 2. So
that is very true.
It's not as pronounced as we think. Maybe it's just that the overall team... Oh, TNT took a ton of damage from that Sleight of Fist. Throws out the wards, but isn't targeting them. Just letting him run rampant. He takes a ton of damage, gets Sleight of Fist in. Ember pops too right away. Invaders with the huge amount of damage, and he's continuing to throw it out with those Sleight of Fists. Ice Path comes out, but nowhere near anything. Rubik's kind of misses a little everything there with that. And Dragon Knight's running away from Invaders now. Circles around those trees and then takes off, and another Ice Path missed by Rubik's Cube. Pinks come out from Yoko to press their advantage now that the 2 supports are down. This game is just absolutely insane. Dragon Knight going for a critical strike here. 3,100 gold, so apparently looking to go for a Daedalus, I would assume. Kind of an interesting pickup again.
You should get rid of that bottle and go for some lifesteal.
Some lifesteal, a basher, a Mjolnir. I feel that any of those things would probably provide more damage than the critical strike is going to on the Dragon Knight, who doesn't really have a ton of. I mean, he's got 175 damage. It's not going to be like a huge crit or anything there. I feel that you could maximize your damage in other ways. Invaders throws out the Flame Guard, and he comes in and munches on Barracks, which takes a good chunk of damage on it. And now Rubik's Cube is falling really low. Sleight of Fist thrown out, BKB popped, but the Dragon Knight slows. He ults to get a little bit far away. And they really want Invaders. He sheeped up as he ults away, looked like anyway. And armor comes out from the tree. Oh, he was not sheeped because it's off cooldown. And they are chasing Invaders. Oh, Yule Scepter comes out, and he is in a lot of trouble. He gets stunned up and then shackled, and he is going to die. So out for 100 seconds now is the Ember Spirit, and the pinks come out to head towards the mid, even as the bunny runs away with a haste rune here. Radiant in a lot of trouble now. As we look at this XP graph, dip it back down to a 4,000 experience lead for the Radiant, and a gold sitting at about 5,000, which has been what it's been at for almost the last 12 minutes now. So even though Radiant has been doing a pretty good job winning team fights for the most part, their advantage is steadily slipping away, or at least staying where it's at, which is not a good thing for them. Game of Thrones pops the ult, Sheep comes up on Rubik's Cube, Wards popped out, and then the shackle on Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube's going to fall quickly. Magnum comes in on Game of Thrones, throws up his
look at Luna's damage, though.
Luna's just doing a ton of damage to everything. Dragon Knight's gonna die from the bunny.
Radiant's middle
Wards are
tower
falling.
has
Game of
been
Thrones is
destroyed.
chasing.
Radiant's
2
middle
heroes dead from the
barracks is
Radiant,
under
1
attack.
from the Dire. TNT is falling really low, though. He's got to get out of there. Barracks is gonna fall. Ranged Barracks is still up, but
Barracks has
the
been destroyed.
Wards are sitting next to it. Hogs come out from Magnum, which just kind of
Radiant's
serves to
top
take
tower
a
is
ton of
under
damage for
attack.
him. The bunny just going to annihilate these wards. Leech Seed comes out on Game Throws. Again, not the greatest person to throw that on because she is so fast. Whereas
Radiant's
TNC is going to
bottom
run away
barracks
with
is being
80 health.
attacked.
I cannot believe that
Radiant's
47
bottom
minutes into the
barracks
game,
is
Shadow
falling.
Shaman has 900 health.
And they just took bottom ranged racks.
Very nice play by Jay. I didn't even see it happening.
I did not either. I was following the critical health Shadow Shaman. But again, the point stands. 900 health at almost 50 minutes is absolutely insane. Sheepstick comes out on the Natures.
Sheepstick.
And Boots of Travel from the Visage. So Visage looking to add to that push.
This is crazy. I think Radiant really needs to take this Roshan, and it's going to be up in about a minute. They're going to keep their close eye on that. Otherwise, if they lose that Roshan, I think that'll be game. I think this Roshan's going to decide it.
TNT is just running around with no health. Up to 200 now, but he is the honey badger. He don't give a shit. Oh, pings come out. Smoke from the Radiant. They're going to go up and look through the jungle. They're not going to find anything up there, because the Dire team's waiting for Roshan. Ping comes out on the Roshan pit, and if they swing around, they might be able to catch Game of Thrones, but no, he decides to back, and they don't swing down either. Now the pings are coming out to go back down, so another smoke gank that's going to get absolutely nothing here. So that's 3 in this game. You know, that opening one where they smoked too early, the one that could have been the good game push there at the Roshan pit, but instead they attacked the image, and now that one where they just completely
they were so
miss
close
everything.
to seeing those guys.
And now
They
they're
just
going to
would've
wing
ducked
back
a
for
little bit.
Roche, maybe? Yeah, Invaders is going to
Yep.
duck into the Roshan pit, and he's going to start attacking. He pings out for it to come. The Dire is kind of pushed into their base, worried that they were going to go uphill on that mid lane, but now Jay's going to teleport down towards the top lane, or bottom lane, excuse me. Roshan is going to... he's going to fall. Dire is not going to contest this. Third one's got the cheese on it. Magnum taking a ton of damage here. I don't know why they're letting him tank it up right now. Invaders grabs up the Aegis, pings out the cheese. The Radiant forgot about the cheese. What are they doing? And Yoko is going to pick up the cheese as pings come out for Jay, and he's just going to teleport away like only a Nature's Prophet can.
Do it with flair.
He is doing a great job of ratting this, though. I have to give him a little bit of credit for that.
Radiant's top tower
Butterfly
is being
fully completed
attacked.
for the Luna, 2,300 gold. Probably going to look for Satanic next, I would assume. Monkey King bar up on her as well, so Luna is just farmed as all hell. 296 CS, 10 and 3 and 12 kill score. So, and the Daedalus is finished up on the Dragon Knight. Again, I have to question that decision.
Illusion.
I guess he loves that bottle. Doesn't want to get rid of that at all.
Ghost Scepter up on the Shadow Shaman now. Interesting
Travel
decision
Ember
given all the magic
and
damage.
on, Luna, probably to help counter those Furion rats. They need to do something with this Aegis, though. This is kind of their time to shine. They have the damage to do it, too.
And
Ember is
they're
just-
gonna look for the GG push. It looks like heading up towards the mid. I mean, I know they got the range barracks there and they got the tower, so it will be a little bit easier uphill. But you have to assume that the Dire is going to be expecting that. Pings come out for the mid again. As
Ember is just hitting like a truck. It's so
Curious why Jay isn't pushing out bottom.
yeah, electing
He
to stay
had
and
quite
defend.
a while. There he goes.
A little bit late with this, I feel. You know, I think he could have really stopped this before it started, but
Yeah.
Dire's middle barracks
Oh.
is being attacked.
A very early BKB out of Invaders on the Ember.
guess he was expecting. Oh, and he pops TNT with the sleight of fist. So much damage coming out from the Ember, and they take the barracks and they're going to run. TPs are coming out now to try to kill Jay. Fortify comes up. Jay is going to TP
Oh,
away.
they stopped two
Yes,
of them.
yes. Invader's in a lot of trouble. Tries to ult away. He is able to pop forward. Throws out the flight. Yeah, Aegis is popped. In a ton of trouble is Invaders. And he's stunned up, and oh my goodness, look at that damage. Alright, maybe I was wrong. Maybe that Daedalus was a decent choice. That combined with that Soul Assumption just ate up Invaders.
Again, we were talking about bad places to TP. They TP'd in 2 spots in the lane, and 3 of them got interrupted. They just should have backed up a little bit more before trying to TP. They have JoN or Jugs has got so much stun. They're just able to interrupt those TPs, and Luna was the only one that made it out.
Death Prophet. Game of Thrones, bottom basher.
I mean, I guess if you're feeling that you're that far ahead, I just
Radiant's middle barracks is being attacked.
I don't even really know what to
Radiant's
say.
middle
But
barracks has
they kill
fallen.
the range barracks in the mid, and Dragon Knight heads top while with Visage as Game of Thrones
Radiant's top tower
goes with
has
Jay.
been destroyed.
Magnum with man, he just hates Jay.
Radiant's
Hates him.
top barracks
And he's
is
got the battery assault
attacked.
up, and he's
Radiant's
not gonna
top
get him. He's got no mana. He can't do
destroyed.
anything. Bunny is not gonna chase. Magnum is
Radiant's
being
top
crazy, and
barracks
meanwhile
has fallen.
the range or the barracks up top were getting destroyed. So
Well, that's that.
Magnum decides that this is just over, and I'm gonna chase and try to get a kill, and dies for his
Radiant's
trouble, I
bottom
suppose.
barracks is under attack.
Game of Thrones looking to end this and throws out the ultimate, so there's insult to injury right there. There's no way they were gonna be able to stop him from killing that. And now he's gonna pick up Rubik's. Bunny ult comes out, but he's just gonna get killed by that Death Prophet ult. Bunny does buy back. They aren't gonna give this up. Invaders throws out the Searing Chains, and Garnif, yes, is gonna die to the Bunny. The Bunny's gonna also clean up the Robulus. Buyback comes out from Gareth. And Jay in a lot of trouble as he gets chained up and then cleaned up by the Invaders. And they want to go for the GG push, even though they're mega creeped up and only a Luna to protect them.
It's just not gonna happen.
And look at Ember Spirit's item. He's got Demon Edge and 2,600 gold. Is it time for the Rapier?
It's a ways off still.
It is. I don't know if
If you
they're going to be
want
able to
it.
survive long enough. And they're just going to push it up. He's got only 900 health. And
I could not
gonna
bear
run
to
in.
be
They
away
just drop
from
a
the
bus, buys
sacred
back.
woods.
The only shot they have is like some freaking lucky crits.
70 seconds for Luna's ult.
at this point in time, I think Luna's just pure damage is going to be more effective than her ultimate. with all the crap that's bouncing around between the necro creeps and the
Radiant's
I mean,
middle
nature
tower is
should
under attack.
kill the
bunny,
throne.
what are they doing? They're gonna
Radiant's middle tower has
gonna
been
let Luna do
destroyed.
some damage to this, and she's gonna kill these tier 4s pretty easily without some response. Bunny's gonna kill the Dragon
Oh, they
Knight,
got Dragon Knight.
so maybe a little bit more interesting than we thought. Oh, and the TNT cleans up the Bunny,
no,
and there goes the Ember Spirit too. So down for 98 and 112 seconds
My coffin.
in respect, and Jay's gonna TP in. Ember Spirit does buy back. Now it's a little bit of a race. Garnif, Ice Path, last tier 4 is down. Everything is down in the Radiant except for this one itty bitty
Oh
building.
no,
And now
Invaders.
the
Radiant's
GG well played
ancient
does
has been
come
attacked.
out.
Shield of scale protects me.
Yeah, even if he does manage to. Nope.
Victory for Dire.
So
Well, that was definitely an interesting game.
yeah, it's up and down, twists and turns, but Juggernaut's able to bring their 4-core lineup into the late game where I thought that the Radiant team wanted to be, but it kind of turned out to be a little bit the opposite, where the Radiant team definitely worked to push. So I'm not 100%. I'm thinking that this is an official scrim, so we should be back with Game 2 here in a couple seconds. If you just stay tuned, this is all about Dota.